Wolves are magnificent mammals that live in harmony and balance with nature, native to many continents, not only to Europe, of course. But nowadays, it's very difficult to find roaming wild wolves in packs, as they used to do for millennia upon millennia. And of course, the biggest threat to the wolves in days gone by was other wolf packs and other mammals, of course, some of which are now extinct. Now, I believe that in ancient times, before monotheism became the norm here in Europe, that the ancient man lived much more in harmony with wolves before the widespread of agriculture here in Europe. I don't believe that the ancient man would have ganged up on wolves as they did when Christianity came here to Europe. And of course the wolf has a very limited worldview, if you like. It's not aware of all of the different races of men here in the world and their often disharmonious ways. But if all of the wolf packs knew what was going to happen, that they were going to be driven out and killed and slaughtered to make way for, well, sheep, then perhaps they might have all joined together to have made one big pack, perhaps led by ruler wolves, as a means of not becoming extinct. Of course, they did not have that knowledge, and for that reason alone, they're now extinct in many parts of Europe and the world at large. Now, talking about our history, of course, all of the wolves are very similar, just in the same way as the Norse, the Anglo-Saxon people. Very similar indeed. And as we all know, the Norse, the Danes, Vikings came into conflict with the Anglo-Saxons in England at the end of the 8th century and there onwards for a couple of centuries. And of course there was a divide amongst those two very similar people. We could say they were distant cousins, in fact. Of course the Danes, the Norse who came in, they were, at the beginning, of course, they were heathens, they were pagans, just like their Anglo-Saxon brothers used to be as well, until they were Christianized. So that became the dividing wedge between those two people. Now, in the world we live in today, you could say that for the most part, there are very few descendants of those people in a global perspective. So that's something to think about, perhaps. Would the Norse and the Anglo-Saxons have fought against each other if they had known what was to come? In the same way as the wolves? And perhaps not. It might be something to think about. Thank you for watching.